Hello everyone, it's Steve! Well, Mr. K in this one. I hosted a study skills program recently that not everybody was able to attend, so I thought I'd create 3 videos to cover the essential stuff that the students found most helpful. First up we have how I study, then we'll have note-taking, and the last one will be ways to study and exam preparation. This is part 1, how I study. And when I say I mean you. This was originally designed to be based on class discussion, but as there won't be any opportunity for that, this is sort of a one-way conversation, drop your comments below and show everyone and me your awesome ideas and responses. Knowing what works best for you is one of the most important parts of studying or doing any work of any kind. If you don't know how you best take in information, it'll be like running on a treadmill. It'll be really hard work, but you're not moving forward. Take a moment to think about how you currently study. Does any of this sound like you? Pause if you need more time. Odds are you agree to at least one of these things, and that's okay. But let's see what we can do to get you to focus more effectively and take in more information. First things first, understanding yourself and how you study best means understanding what your distractions are. This could be anything from TV to games, social media, SMSing, or even just reading one more chapter of that incredible book. Let me give you a few seconds to think about the things that distract you. Pause if you need more time. Great. Now turn them off, pack them away, give them to someone else, do whatever it takes to make them less available and distracting. However, this can be easier said than done. Not all distractions can be removed from you. In these cases, remove yourself. Take yourself away from these distractions. For example, going to a grandparent's house to do study, or even your local library. Local libraries are the best. If you've never visited a local library to do study, visit a local library to do study. There is study magic in those walls. I don't know what it is about it, but for some reason, anytime you ever go there to study, you get so much more study done. Try the library. Once you've gotten away from your distractions, you can focus on getting in the zone. And that's what we're going to talk about next. What helps you stay focused? These 3 symbols suggest the top 3 responses I get when I ask people what helps them focus. The sun is all about natural light and fresh air. A lot of people feel that they study best when they go outside on a beautiful day, maybe go under a tree or go to a nearby cafe that has lots of bright natural light. Some people also feel that they study best when they have music in their ears, and yes, believe it or not, this is a thing. But not for everyone. A lot of people will agree that they study better with music, especially teenagers. However, really think about it. Do you study better with music, or do you just enjoy listening to music while you study? There is a difference. A lot of people listen to music because they think it works for them, but it actually slows them down heaps. And the last one is silence. Some people really prefer just quiet and being able to get into it. They want nothing else around them. They want no one else around them. They just want to focus on their work. And you may find that depending on the work you're doing, you may require a different one of these. You may like music when you're writing a creative story, but when you're doing maths, you might want silence or sunshine. There are many different things that can help you stay focused. These are only 3. Find what works for you and see if you can put it into action. Not everything that helps you study will be available at school, so you need to make sure that you're implementing this stuff at home. If you work better outside in the sunlight, don't expect the teacher to just let you leave the class. In the same way that if you prefer music, don't expect the teacher to allow you to have headphones if school rules says you can't. Nor should you expect all the students in your class to be quiet all the time. I think we both know that is never going to happen. There are a lot of studies to suggest that we as people learn in 3 different ways, and we will normally lean towards one of these ways. So you are either a visual learner, an auditory learner, or a kinesthetic learner, which means seeing, hearing, and doing. Seeing would apply to watching films, watching presentations, even just reading books. If you feel you take in information that way best, you're probably a visual learner. Hearing applies to also film and presentations, and maybe even audiobooks, something where you really focus on the hearing aspect of taking information in. And doing, that's getting involved. Let me give you a few seconds to think about which one you think you are. A seeing learner, a hearing learner, or a doing learner. How'd you go? Could you pick one? Did you find yourself thinking, I think I'm all of those things? If you did, I'd say you're probably correct. In my personal opinion, and in many other people's opinions as well, the best way to learn is to incorporate all of these things. So how are you going to make that work? You're probably not the teacher, you're probably the student. So how are you meant to organize the way the information is given to you? What we're talking about right now isn't schoolwork. What we're talking about is study. And study is up to you. Study is all about what you learn when you're not at school. And that's completely in your control. You can think to yourself, do I look up videos on YouTube to help teach me this in a different way? Or should I illustrate something? Should I write it out in a way that works for me? Do you need to go out and find a way to get involved in it? Do you need to just read it a couple more times? Don't take that one as standard. Just because you'll probably hear a lot of teachers saying, I want you to read over this and I want you to read over it again, you need to think to yourself, although you should absolutely do what your teacher says, you need to think, do I need to do something else? Is there something else I have to add to this so that it really sinks into my mind? And when that test or exam comes, I will be prepared. Knowing how to study means understanding yourself. And one of the most important parts of understanding yourself is understanding the things that you are good at. How can you use those strengths that you do have and use them to improve on your weaknesses? These strengths can be anything, and they do not have to be related to working at all. As a matter of fact, it's better if they don't. For example, sport, or dance, or video games even. Take a few moments to think about your strengths. See if you can pick one or two. And then I want you to see if you can find a way to incorporate that strength and that interest into your studies. It's not easy, but give it a shot and it can be done. Pause if you need more time. How did you go? Did you find anything? Let me give you an example. When I ran this program, a number of the students mentioned that their interest and their strength was in cooking. I thought, wow, okay, how are we going to do this one? So I asked them, how would you incorporate cooking into your studying? And I got 2 great responses. One way was to use food and create the shapes of what you're doing. So for example, if you're studying the brain in science, you might want to create a cerebellum with bolognese. Another one that I found fascinating was to take notes like they were a recipe. So you would start off with your ingredients and you have your step-by-step instructions to how you get to your end result. And doesn't that just apply to absolutely everything? The last thing we're going to be touching on in this video is stress. Stress gets a pretty bad rep. If it wasn't for stress, when you had an exam coming up, a test, or an assignment which is due in just a couple of days, you wouldn't care and you wouldn't work harder. What you have to be careful of is distress. Distress is not a motivator. Distress actually makes things much worse. This is when you know an exam is coming up or a due date and you feel you're unprepared. So you start freaking out. You start panicking and you can't think straight and you get to work and nothing is coming out. Distress can make life very hard for you. Now I'm gonna get serious for a second. Exams can be very high pressure and can affect people very negatively. If you feel you are being affected negatively and you're worried about yourself, please speak to someone. Your teachers are available to you, and so are the counselors, and so are your friends. It's okay to talk about this stuff. If you bottle it up and you don't talk, things are going to get much harder for you. Exams are important, yes, but they're not the end of the world, and they are not worth even considering harming yourself over, which unfortunately is something that is seen amongst schools annually, and it shouldn't be the case. If you're not comfortable talking to family or friends, teachers or counselors about this, there are services available to you. For example, Lifeline. It's a free helpline. You can give them a call and you can talk to them about absolutely anything, be it study or anything else that's on your mind. Okay, let's lighten it up a bit. Where's Lily? Lily! Here's Lily. Here's Lily. Say hello to everyone. Hello everyone.
My name is Lily.
Hello. Hello. Lily. There you go.
Love you, Lily. You made me fluffy.
Well, that's it for this one. Next one's going to be on note-taking, everyone's favorite topic. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. And if you have any questions or contributions, put them in the comments below. Okay. See ya.